Welcome back to the Fertility Counselor podcast. I'm so grateful you're here with me today. In this episode, we are touching on something tender, something that so many people go through, but so few speak about openly: miscarriage and stillbirth. What many don't realize is just how common miscarriage is. Around 1 in 4 pregnancies will sadly end this way. Most happen in the first trimester, and many women may not even know they were pregnant. It can sometimes feel like nothing more than a heavier period. But whether a loss is known or unknown, brief or further along, the grief is real. It's the loss of dreams, of a little life that was already loved. And yet, for so many parents, this grief is carried in silence. My guest today, Felicia Tan, knows this journey intimately. After 2 miscarriages, including the heartbreaking loss of twins, Felicia's life was turned upside down. In her search for healing, she began writing, sharing her story, eventually publishing 3 books. Out of that journey, she also co-founded Angel Hearts here in Singapore, a community offering grief support to parents who've experienced miscarriage or stillbirth. Angel Hearts does something profoundly beautiful. They take donated wedding gowns and lovingly transform them into tiny angel gowns gifted freely to hospitals. This simple but powerful act ensures that babies who have passed are addressed with dignity and that their families have a way to honor them in love. In today's conversation, Felicia opens her heart about how she found purpose in the midst of pain and how walking alongside other grieving families has become part of her own healing. This is a tender, gentle conversation, and whether you've experienced loss yourself or are here to better understand and support someone you love, I hope it brings comfort, compassion, and a reminder that you are never alone. So let's begin. Here is Felicia Tan. Hello, Felicia. I'm so happy to have you here today in my podcast show.
Hi, thank you. Thank you, Tanja, for the invitations. I'm also very excited to be here today.
Yeah, and I know you are a very busy person, so even more delighted and feeling honored that you are making the time to be here to have such a good conversation today. Yes.
Definitely.
So
Yep.
before we go deeper into what you do and what your journey was, I kick off always with the same question. So can you share what your morning ritual is to get started into the day? What do you usually do?
So my morning, has always begins with family. I drop my boy at school, and that gave me a sense of grounding. And after that, I join a short workout over Zoom to wake my body. And I gather my team for a grateful sharing sessions. So it's a simple rhythm, but it reminds me to start each day with gratitude and positivity, no matter what challenge comes.
Oh, wow. That's so beautiful to hear that you are starting off in such a meaningful way.
Yeah.
Yes. How beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Yes, so for those who are listening for the first time to you, maybe haven't met you yet, could you maybe share a little bit about your journey and what led you to create your businesses?
Yeah, thanks for the question. So I actually started my business way back in 2005 as a design agency called Design Works. So things was going well until of course life changes. I went through 2 miscarriages, including a pair of twins. Those losses actually shook me, and that also led me to write 3 books, started my company Art of Life and Angel Heart subsequently. So I didn't want my angel babies to be short-lived and to be in vain. So I
Hmm.
found purpose and in honoring them and creating safe space for other grieving families as well.
Yes, and that is so empowering, actually, really, what you did. And by writing these books, how did you find your own journey unfolding? Was it in a way also healing your grief, helping you with your grief?
So my journey has been, frankly, quite a roller coaster since then, right? When
Mm,
I first went through the miscarriage, it
mm,
felt like the ground just gave way lah, beneath me. I
yeah.
wasn't just grieving for the baby I lost. I lost the future with them, and it was a lonely and heavy times, right?
Yeah.
Healing didn't happen all at once. It
Mm,
came in small steps, little steps. My faith played a big role, and writing became an outlet too as well. Frankly, I was writing a personal blog, and all of a sudden the blog, garnered a lot of attractions, and also
mm,
a lot of views. I started blogging, and that's why subsequently I wrote 3 books that document my pregnancy and loss. That also how really Angel Heart came about as well. It became a
mm.
space where I could honor my angel baby while helping others find dignity, comfort in their grief. In a way, walking with others has been a part of my own healing too.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So can you tell us a little bit more about Angel Hearts? What does Angel Heart do?
Okay, Angel Hearts repurpose wedding gowns to what we call angel gowns for the baby who passed away in hospital due
Mm,
to pregnancy losses, stillborn, and etc. So we gave the gowns to hospital free of charge, and
mm.
that's how they could dress the babies with dignity and comfort.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is so, so beautiful to hear that. Yes. And I think it's not long time ago where actually Singapore hospital opened up to this kind of like approach on how to support their patients who had experienced such a dramatic loss, isn't it? This
Yes, that's
doesn't
right.
exist. I'm not aware that this existed like 20 years ago. Absolutely not. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, Angel Heart started in 2017, so it has been seven,
Mm,
8 years running now. So it took us quite a while to really get the hospital to open up.
yeah.
I mean, with valid reasons as well. They were worrying that, could they provide or could we provide them the gowns in long run? So that
Mm,
was one of their concerns as well. Yep.
yeah, yeah. And are all those involved into Angel Hearts? This is an NGO, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. It is a
Yeah.
non-profit organization, so we are
Mhm.
run by mainly volunteers, sowies who sew at their own comfort of their home, and we
Mhm.
have a warehouse in store hub as well.
Wow. Yes. And if I'm not mistaken, you mentioned to me once about a grief support group as well that you have in your offer under Angel Hearts.
That's right. We kickstarted this grief program support group last
Mm,
year. We were thankful we have 2 counselors stepping forward to help create a program to help this bereaved walk through this difficult, challenging journey.
mhm,
So we started with minimum at least 4 participants
mhm,
once a month for 4 sessions across 2 hours. And on the fifth session, they still can have a one-on-one optional sessions with the counselors directly. And that helped them to really process their grief and really journey with them to help them cope and etc.
Yes, and I think it also gives them the feeling that they're really not alone with what
That's
they
right.
are experiencing because sometimes, and this is not sure if you are seeing the same, but I'm observing that some of the clients feel that they are not allowed to talk anymore after a certain time of a loss, and there is really no time limit. Some clients they can process grief in a matter of 2, 3 months, and others just need more than a year, and that's okay. So, yeah.
Yes. So it is very powerful when you put
Mm,
them in a group setting
mhm.
because they don't feel that they are alone in this journey anymore. Whatever that they share, someone resonated and someone, actually come in agreement. That's when I think that feeling is really very powerful and it set them free as well to know that indeed someone share the same sentiments as well.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. That's so great that you have created this group. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your incredible work in this space, Felicia. Yes. For yourself, I would like to go back to your own experience that you mentioned in your introduction. Um, Looking back now at your own journey of grief, what do you feel helped you the most to process your grief back then, emotionally, spiritually, but also physically? What was it that helped you?
So frankly, of course, healing didn't came overnight, right? It
Mm,
was very much a process that I learned. Of course, writing in one way helped.
mm,
Emotionally, I had to allow myself to grieve and
mm,
admit that there are days I wasn't okay.
mm,
Of course, spiritually, yes, my faith in God anchored me, and it was through a lot of prayers, worship, I found strength to carry on. Physically, I learned to take small steps, so like resting as and when needed,
mm,
going outdoors just to take walks, and even nourishing myself as well. So I was
mm.
blessed with friends and communities that came forward who just be there with me sometimes. And it's not just trying to, fix a problem, fix the situation, but simply just stood with me, and
Mm.
that really helped as well.
Yes, yes. And may I ask you, and please feel free to push back if you don't want to answer this question, but I'm wondering, how did your husband actually process this loss? Because I often see that women and men process grief in very different ways, where I see women, it helps them to process grief when they can talk to someone and then they can share. And with men, it's very often that they get distracted, they go dive deeper into business or do just longer work hours or whatever. Is that something that you saw with your husband as well, or did he do something differently?
So for him, frankly, of course, he wasn't as easy as well because he has to
Mm,
be there for me, right? And
mm,
much as for ladies, we had our confinement period. For guys, they don't have. At best, they have just 1 week of leave and they have to go back to work. So there
yeah.
was a lot of transitions and being there to be emotionally there for me as well to stand with me lah. So that was, of course, the scenario. But thankfully, of course, he has a few friends that he can talk to as well, that he can really find comfort as well, and to say, okay, can you just take over the wheel? Can you just drive? Right? Like my brother-in-law who stepped out as well back then, that he could, take the back seat, that he could have his rest, he could really, be himself at times, so that yes, there's the moment that he can, really be himself.
Wow, wow, that's amazing. And I think that alone shows that your husband must have been very connected to what he needed back then in that very moment to find healing. Yeah, yeah. How was it for you as a couple to actually find that strength together to not give up and to try again? Because this is one of the hardest to try again after a loss. How did you find that strength together?
Frankly, of course, it's not easy, right? I
Mm,
mean, subsequently, I came to know statistically we are 6 times higher lah, to a divorce because, yeah, the husband don't want to talk about it, the wife constantly wants to talk about it. It will obviously create that drift lah. But
mm,
having said so, we did came at one point to come to a discussion to say, do we want to stay together? Is it
mm,
because of our genes that is compelling? Is it something else? So do we still want to stay together? So we came to a decision that okay, we still love each other, much as children, baby is a bonus. If it comes, we are happy, but if it doesn't, we are okay to stay as such. So
mm,
that's when we decided, okay, children or not, baby or not, okay, we still want to continue our life together lah, in that
mm.
sense. So we come to a joint decision in that sense. Yep.
Yes, yeah. And did you have all these conversations on your own, or did you reach out to someone to help you with, or how did you find the right way for you that worked?
So when I had this conversation specifically, of course, it was with me and him. But having said so, I was thankful I helped. help lah. I mean, frankly, I got your service back then on fertility coaching or things like that. I have friends who shared certain things. So it kind of prepped me as well, to prep me to know what could I do, how could I talk to him, and being mindful that he's also still my husband. He's also going through grief. He's also lost a baby, things like that. That put me in that perspective as well, to know that, okay, I'm not just grieving alone, my husband is also. So how can we move on or proceed together as a couple?
Wow. Yes, yes. And that alone shows how much strength you had already. And I think that's probably the foundation that you had as a couple, which I don't see automatically with all the couples, to be honest. Sometimes you see that the foundation is a bit shaky, and if something like that can be a high stressor happens, it can actually really test a relationship. For your grief support program, Felicia, are men invited as well, or do you form two separate groups? How do you run it?
Okay, so of course, it's a group specifically for the ladies, for
Okay.
the mommies. And ideally, our plan is to have a specific group for the men as well, because often they say, I have to be there for the wife, right? And that might sometimes be, bringing guilt or triggering to the wife. So we kind of wanted to put them separately first, let them cope with their grief process separately first. Then the ideal plan is to put them on a couple sessions or one-on-one subsequently, therefore to help them, guide them to move forward.
Yes, yes. And I think that's such a great way of how to structure your program, so that each of them has the possibility to talk to peers and feels more understood. Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
absolutely. Absolutely. You mentioned your other company, Art of Life. And
Yes.
I know that you have embedded also real like the approach, more of a holistic approach to health. Can you tell us and our listeners a little bit more about this company, please?
Sure. I actually set up this company a year before Angel Hearts. It's focusing on four areas: health and wellness being one, life empowerment, which is more of like coaching as well, branding and legacy, because that's where I started. I started in doing graphic and web design. Last but not least, of course, events and partnerships. So I come to realize, because after they miscarried, a lot of people came back to me, Felicia, I miscarried, what's next? Right? So yes, one part is, of course, gynae asks them to lose weight. So there's one area that can help them in terms of health, wellness, nutrition, and things like that, to lose weight or even to overhaul their health in general, right? In coaching, frankly, I've been on the other platform, Child Bereavement Support Singapore, for past 10 years. So I decided, okay, it's time that I get a official certificate to help them and to, really coach them as well in their journey. So sometimes it also boils down to what's your priority in life. So of course, sadly, I've talked to couples or even the wife that some really do end up in divorce, some end up in adoptions, and of course, some eventually welcome their babies as well. So there's, I mean, different alternative, different to it. So that's when I also realized how to really, help them process through all this as well. And of course, not forgetting, I'm still passionate in doing graphic and web design. Then I decided, of course, I published 3 books. Everybody start asking me, how do you go about publishing a book? So I thought, why not I share my journey to help people, to let them know how can you also publish your books as well. And I mean, at the end of the day, everybody go through some life challenges one way or another. Everybody actually has a story to share. It's just, what's your burning desire? Was it one of your bucket list that you want to do? And that's when we can help you as well. And last but not least, with event and partnership, I realized it's always about collaborations that bring the community together. So it's always about win-win scenario, that how can we put forth and to share the knowledge, the informations to more people, to reach out to the community.
Yes, absolutely. The community is really like an incredible, great pool of wealth and knowledge, right? It's amazing, yes, to tap on such a great community. Yes,
That's
yes.
right.
You seem to be a power woman, Felicia, with all these companies that you are running. Is there on your journey, was there a particular event or an encounter with either a woman or a couple that you felt really like emotionally like more attached than others? I know there are many stories to share that are inspiring, but maybe one stood out for you that you might want to share with our listeners without uh,
Sure.
saying any
So
names.
there's this particular story that I still remember. It was way before COVID hit.
Mm,
So there's this mom who came to our Angel Hardware house to choose an angel gown for her unborn twins. So
mm,
what happened is one of the twins had already passed on, but
mm,
the other one is still alive. So that was a very challenging period, and the whole room was quiet. She was there. It was really a sacred moment. So
mm,
standing there, I was reminded, right, by the incredible courage to face both grief and hope at the same time.
yeah.
I can only imagine, really only imagine how the mother will cope that every year the birthday, she will know, one is celebrating the birthday, the other one couldn't. So that's exactly why Angel Heart exists, to give comfort and dignity in moments like this where words fall short.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yes. Thank you for sharing. It gives me goosebumps hearing this story. Yeah, absolutely. When women reach out to you for joining your support group, at which stage would you tell them to join? Is there like any particular stage that you decide this is like this will be like the perfect moment, or it doesn't matter?
Frankly, no, there wasn't a perfect moment. So much as when they come through us and we receive that to know that they have miscarried, we normally will send them the link, which is the information about it, so they can, take their time to come back to us. But we do have a quick questionnaire, and frankly, of late, the majority came to us with less than 3 months of their grieving period. So they are definitely in awareness and seeking help. And mainly, a lot of them are actually young professionals in their early 30s.
Oh, wow. Yes, yes. And are you attending in person? Is this a meeting that is being attended in person? The
Yes,
support
it's
group?
a face-to-face session. Yes.
It's face to face, right? Okay. And will you be present as well at these sessions? Are you usually present, or is it more the two counselors that you mentioned?
Most cases, of course, it's the two counselors. Of course,
Mm,
same thing, I may come in before the sessions or after the sessions just to say hi to the participant and
mm,
to, of course, find out any feedbacks or comments that they want, and of course to further give them any information if they need to as well.
mhm. And how are they being supported in between? Because your meetings are like spread apart, right? So is there like a particular WhatsApp group for them to join as well, or how is that done?
Yes, so obviously, yes, they have a WhatsApp group that they
Mhm.
join, and that's when, of course, in between they can check in, and if there's a need to, they can also check in to the counselors as well. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And is there like a minimum of attending so and so many sessions for them, or is it just like by drop in and then dropping out again? Or like how does it work?
So ideally, we need minimum 4 participants to start, and of course, ideally they could, complete all 4 sessions lah. Yeah.
Mm, yes. And once these four sessions are done, does it then restart with the same format again?
Yes. Okay, the format will be somewhat similar, but of course, improve along the way. Then
Mm,
is the next batch, next group of participants coming in again. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Are there any participants who choose actually to repeat the format again? Or
So far, they are mainly quite all right after the 4 sessions because you are equipped lah, with some life skills, how to cope with grief. And because we still the WhatsApp group, And
Yeah.
of course, there is the optional one-on-one sessions as
Mm.
well. So in a way, they take time to
Yes.
maybe, apply what they could do, and then subsequently, after a certain timing, they come back for a one-on-one sessions to check in with our counselors again.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And are doctors aware like gynecologists, OB-GYNs, and IVF doctors of your service, that this service exists?
So we have reached out to hospitals
Mm-hmm.
for a main few hospitals so far. So we are also, yes, going to reach out to gynaes to share with them that such a service is available. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's such an important service that you offer, and it's so important for women to feel that there is like a group or support group existing and there for them. And it's super important to make medical specialists aware of your service, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Often I know that doctors care, and as much as they wish to have the time to have these conversations as one-on-one in their practice, but also I feel that sometimes the waiting room is so full and they feel like being rushed from one appointment to the next with their patients. So sometimes they might not have enough time to have these kind of conversations, isn't it?
Yes, very true. Yes. For gynaes, of course, they are more concerned, of course, being providing the medical support.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the emotional support might be a bit of lack.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when we come in providing this grief program support group.
Yeah. How was your own experience back then? Did you feel supported by your gynae back then?
Yes, of course, I was thankful. He was very empathetic. I mean, that's how I came to know you, right? So I was thankful somehow, much as I don't know what I don't know, but I came to know you. We walked through the journey, the grief processes, subsequently the fertility coaching, which I was very thankful of. Lah. As I look back now, somehow my participants are going through this route as well. I was like, it was just amazing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So for someone who has experienced loss just recently, what would be your advice to them?
I would really say to any mothers who feel in that sense silence, I want you to know you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you feel that way right now, your pain is valid, your story matters,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't need to hide it. So there are safe spaces like Angel Hearts where others will understand and journey with you. So
Mm-hmm.
healing doesn't mean erasing the love you have. It means carrying it forward in a new way.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm thinking about mothers who actually had a baby and then they experienced a loss after the birth of a biological child, which sometimes can be experienced in a different way for those that have. I mean, a loss is a loss. We all agree on it. But have you seen a difference between those moms that had a child and those who didn't have a child yet on how they experience a loss?
Frankly, both losses are just as hard.
Mm,
Much as, yes, if you lose your pregnancy on the first one, you will feel like, why me? Why God let it happen? Or things like that. If it happens on your second pregnancy, you'll be wondering why the first pregnancy is normal, it's okay, but why it happened in second pregnancy? Is it something that I neglect or I overlooked? So
mm,
either way, there's a lot of guilt
mm,
on what happened. Was there something that you neglect?
mm,
So neither have it the easier way round, frankly. Yeah, because much as on the first pregnancy, yes, you can have more time in the way it seems. You can cope with grief and whatever not. And with existing children, you still have, or in a way forced to be there, to be present for them. So the way of coping with grief in that sense make it different, therefore. But
mm.
it doesn't make it easier, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, absolutely not. You're right. Yes. And is there anything that you want to let the male listeners know? What do they need to know about their wife if they have experienced a loss?
Of course, it's really take it easy and, check in with them on and off. If they want to talk, let them talk. If they don't want, it's okay. So there are times whereby, frankly, even as I move past the stages, I told my husband there are days that I also don't know what I don't know. I
Mm,
can't tell you what is going to happen the next hour, the next minute. So
mm,
how can I tell you how to plan the schedule? So there are times whereby he has to take the planning and I come along with it. And he has to accept that, yes, there are times that I couldn't come along with it for whatever the reasons. Yeah.
mm. Yes, yes, yes. So for those that actually are trying to support their wife and don't know how, I think it's great if they know that they can reach out to you, to Angel Hearts, and to get support from you. Is there actually for men a separate WhatsApp group?
Yes, that's right. You definitely, yes,
Yes. Yes, I guess so, right?
yes, yes.
Exactly. Or then go to a counselor to talk about it, right? Yeah. Yeah. Anything else that comes through your mind that you would like to share with couples who have experienced loss that you find that is really something that you have seen over and over again, and you feel like this is important to share with those?
I think much as whatever has happened, it really tests lah, right? Test the relationship of that couple to the extent it is a make or break kind of a thing, right? So what is really important is really taking time to cope with the grief and to really have that kind of communications, which I was thankful lah. Back then I had the conversations with my husband on and off, over and over again, and to really drill in what do we want in our life at the end of the day. If having a baby, having a child is really what we want, or things like that. Are we aligned in certain things? What are our priorities if it doesn't happen, or things like that? So a lot of difficult topics came in.
Mm.
Um, much as it wasn't easy, but I was thankful we talk it through so that we can really, see what we want at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm.
Thank you for sharing this. I think this is so important to realign again on what you as a couple really need when you want to pursue this journey and to find also maybe purpose. I'm not sure whether this is the right word, but it's really finding out meaning, because life is there for each of us, with and without children. I know it's easier said than done, but I strongly believe that if healing can be done in a good way, there is also a lot of strength that comes out with it. Yeah, as you actually are a testimonial of that strength on how you wrote those books and inspired so many other people actually who experience the same. Now, before we close up for today, can I ask you a question? In terms of like, if you get a whole day to yourself, I know how superwoman you are with all the businesses and your family. If you get a whole day to yourself, what would you do with that day?
If I have an entire day to myself, actually, I kept it very simple. I like to probably go for a massage, right?
Mhm.
Relax and chill over a cup of tea at a nice cafe. And of course, allowing me time to really reflect and be creative. I also
Mhm.
like taking walks outdoors, spending time in the nature. And that's allow me to slow down, to really breathe and reconnect with myself. So these quiet moments refuel me so that
Mm.
I can continue pouring into others with strength and compassion.
Oh, beautiful. This sounds such a like a beautiful, perfect day, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, I hope you get such a day from time to time because we all need to actually be grounded and feel that calmness to be able to give. And you are in a position where you give a lot. So you need to recharge your batteries. We all need, right?
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Felicia, for taking the time to join me today for this podcast. I'm just so inspired by the work you do and by the journey you went through and coming up with such an incredible strength, but also meaningful purpose in your life and to touch so many other hearts on their journey through grief. Thank you. Thank you for all the work that you and your team are doing.
Thank you. Thank you for your invitation to this podcast as well.
Thank you. And have a wonderful week.
You too. Thanks.
I want to thank Felicia for sharing her story and her heart with us today. Her journey is such a powerful reminder that even in the deepest grief, it's possible to find meaning, to honor the little lives we carried in our hearts forever, and to create spaces of comfort for others who walk a similar path. If you'd like to learn more about Angel Hearts or support their beautiful work, I'll leave the links in the show notes. And if you are listening today after experiencing miscarriage or stillbirth yourself, please know this: your grief is real, your baby matters, and you don't have to walk this path alone. Thank you for being here with me for this tender conversation. Until next time, take gentle care of yourself. See you soon. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Fertility Counselor podcast. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. If you need support or have any questions, reach out to us via email at inquiries@counselingconnects.com. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Fertility Connects. We'd love to hear from you. If you want to learn more about us and the services we offer, head to www.fertilityconnects.com. And if you're looking for support beyond fertility, visit www.counselingconnects.com. Take care, and we'll see you in the next episode.